Marisol, as you know, it's every parent's living nightmare. Kids who just won't sleep through the night. Well, last year we showed you how I got help, an expert help, with my daughter Abby, and we got such a tremendous response that we decided to take another look at how to get kids to sleep through the night, but this time focusing on older kids as well as younger ones. In our series, Sleeping Through the Night, we found one couple so exhausted from trying to stay asleep, they agreed to a sleep intervention.
Your doggy.
Once there was a happy family named the Nunleys, Mom Katie and daughter Charlotte, age 18 months, Dad Patrick and son Benji, age 4. But when bedtime rolled around, the happy family was happy no more. The Nunley children didn't sleep through the night, so neither did their parents.
It's impossible.
It was hard.
It had pretty much been almost 4 years that I hadn't slept more than 3 or 4 hours consecutively. Benji was getting up at least twice a night and coming in to us, and then Charlotte was getting up probably 3 times, 4 times a night. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So that just left no time for us as a couple to relax and unwind together.
Patrick or Katie would end up sleeping in Benji's bed so often they got Benji an adult's queen-size bed.
Then we played musical beds, and often it would be me in here with Benji when we woke up and Charlotte in with Daddy. And we had a lovely game going.
Both the kids had what are called sleep crutches, a habit a child needs in order to go to sleep. Charlotte's was her milk cup.
She would have her milk sippy with books as she was going to bed, and then in the middle of the night, usually she would cry so hard and so long until we got it for her.
For Benji, it was reading books and twirling Mommy's hair.
Benji has been into my hair probably since he was 6 months old, and then it just kept going and going to the point where it's like a drug.
The lack of sleep and crazy routines were tearing the family apart.
I knew it had to be done. Like, it was to the point where I was so insane that we needed some kind of help.
And so they called Kim West, also known as the Sleep Lady. West is a trained sleep therapist who coaches families to get their children to sleep through the night.
So it is a skill that children do not learn naturally on their own unless we as parents kind of gently shape it.
Consulting with the Nunleys by phone, the Sleep Lady tells them to get the sleep crutches out of the bedtime routine, and she puts them on a plan she calls the Sleep Lady Shuffle.
Instead of putting your child into the crib or bed, drowsy but awake, instead of leaving, I have you stay with your child, and you offer physical and verbal reassurance with them as they're learning to put themselves to sleep.
West tells the Nunleys to put Benji and Charlotte to bed sleepy but still awake. For the first few nights, each parent will sit in a chair by a child's bed until they fall asleep. Then they'll move the chair so they're sitting further away, next to the middle of the room, and finally out in the hallway. So the child falls asleep on his own without seeking the parent and sleeps through the night. As an older child, Benji also gets a sticker chart to reward his progress and wake-up music to let him know when it's time to get out of bed. We put cameras in the Nunleys' home to record how they do as they go through sleep therapy.
I blocked off my calendar for 2 weeks and thought, you know, I'm not going to be sleeping at all because I'm going to be up working with them all night. I was really worried.
The first night of sleep therapy, Benji adjusts easily, but not Charlotte. Check this out. That's Mom climbing into her crib to console Charlotte, not once, but twice.
Desperation. I knew that I shouldn't bring her into our bed, so after 3 hours of crying, my solution was to climb in with her. But I certainly don't remember doing it twice.
Despite 3 bad nights, the Nunleys decide to go ahead to the second stage and sit further away in the middle of the room. Surprisingly, the kids start sleeping more soundly.
It was like 3 nights when it was really difficult for Charlotte, but finally it was just like a light switch. It just clicked and it got better and better.
Encouraged, the Nunleys move to the final stage, where they sit in the hallway just outside the kids' rooms. Charlotte starts sleeping through the night, but not Benji.
The older children have more ingrained negative sleep habits, and so it just takes longer for them to change.
On this night, Benji gets Katie to come back into his room not once.
Do you want the blue pillow or the orange pillow?
Not twice, not 3 times.
No, listen to me.
But 8 times during the night.
So how will Benji's bedtime story end? Will he ever sleep through the night? We're going to show you his parents' next plan of action and some of the surprising ways Benji found to fight back when we come back. Let's go back to the Nunley family now. When we went to the commercial break, the baby had learned to sleep through the night, but not 4-year-old Benji.
Despite the wake-up music to give him his cue, despite the stickers for rewards, Benji still isn't staying in bed until the morning. Mom Katie decides it's time to check in with Kim West, also known as the Sleep Lady.
Patrick had him in bed at 7, and they did books, and he was passing out, so he jumped out and sat in the hall.
Sitting up?
Yes, they sat up.
On a previous consultation, the Sleep Lady had discovered Benji was developing a new sleep crutch. She gave us the play-by-play.
And the thumb slips out of the mouth. Yeah, you see he's starting to fall asleep there.
Patrick was reading to Benji lying down, and Benji was falling asleep before Patrick left the room.
Benji would start to fall asleep during story time, so that then when the parents would get up to get out of the room after, Benji being asleep, he would call out and want more books.
Now both parents read to Benji sitting up so he doesn't wake up again asking for books. Problem solved. But there's another obstacle. Benji is onto their plan. Just watch this. We played that clip for the Nunleys.
I'm in control.
You're tired, buddy. Let's lay down. Come on. It was hard. Guilty.
Just different stall tactics. Just I'm thirsty. I need my monkey. I need my blankie. He was in control and trying to get what he needed.
Benji was trying to pull the parent back in.
I was trying to be a little bit more strict and firm, and my husband is a little more gentle, perhaps.
Katie and Patrick agree to be consistent and put up a united front to get Benji to go to bed. No giving in. But how do they get him to stay in bed until the morning?
Okay, so did you ever decide about the
gate?
Yeah.
The Nunleys decide to put up a gate so that Benji will stay in bed until morning.
If you happen to get out of bed, you're going to come over and you're going to go, oh, there's a gate up. That means I should go back to bed.
But Benji gets up 4 times during the night. The Sleep Lady and the Nunleys will not be thwarted by a 4-year-old.
Sometimes we will take away a privilege in the morning. And for Benji, he couldn't play with his toy planes in the morning when he didn't follow his sleep manners.
And that did it. Being consistent, denying some privileges, persistence pays off. Benji finally sleeps through the night.
It was awesome. Katie was just jumping off the walls, just as happy as could be. I woke up and nobody was in bed with us. Katie was next to me.
Yes. The great sleepers.
Thanks to the Sleep Lady, the Nunleys have their nights back.
And it's made a huge difference. The kids are happier. They're not yawning all day. We don't have meltdowns as often. I am just so happy that I can actually spend time with Patrick. Sleep is probably the best prize ever.
Oh, it is. And if all you parents would like some advice out there, if you've got your own particular questions, here's some good news. Kim West, the Sleep Lady, is going to be chatting online today, beginning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 8:30 a.m. Pacific. It's live. Go to our website at abcnews.com.